Justin Herbert and the Carolina Panthers versus Dak Prescott and the New Orleans Saints.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Leading him out, the number 6 overall pick back in April from Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. They are led out by their 27-year-old quarterback, a 2-time Pro Bowler. It's Dak Prescott.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation, that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly. You might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
It was really sudden after the first play picked off. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
James Washington, incomplete. Coverage on the play by Trayvon.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try.
A 29-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Saints 3, Panthers nothing.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
23-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He's got this one completed to Mims. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Uchenna Nwosu. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the Nfc Playoff Race. Let's have a look at it. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
And the Saints.
The numbers for Gallman a week ago, 14 carries, 61 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
This is Gallman. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
2nd and a yard.
At the Coleman will run it. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down. Stopped at the Panthers' 19-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
1st down, Saints.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Gallman. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down.
Intended for Dalton Schultz.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first.
Saints 6. Panthers nothing.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Herbert. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. Partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll try and push it in with Gore. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The veteran Frank Gore stands alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air? And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Denzel Mims with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Panthers have tied this game up. They can take the lead with the extra point. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is, what, 3-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. On the return, it's Washington. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get 6s. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia and trying to erase this deficit. loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. It's 3rd down and the 11.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That's complete to Gallman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep is Gunnar Olszewski. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They'll run out of the gun with Evans. And he's got room. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Carolina. Darrington Evans with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Prater on to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On the draw, it's Evans. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and
from the shotgun. Here's Herbert. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 9.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And this won't be enough. A good secured tackle, and they stop a few yards shy at the 46. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Prescott, and he'll drop it underneath to Gallman. And he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. That's complete to Darrington Evans, the running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
56, Mike, 56.
From the gun, Herbert. He'll dump this underneath for Evans. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints again ready to go on offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Gallman. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Now on second down, this is Gore. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll begin in Orchard Park, an AFC East matchup between Miami and Buffalo. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Larry Fitzgerald, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Marcus Mariota, a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Adam Humphries, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? That's been an issue for them in this game. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
a gain of 4. And it's third.
To throw is Prescott. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. And look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the post.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
He's taken down.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
On the option, here's Herbert. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st down, it's Gore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
They'll run on 1st down with Evans. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. He'll get this to the rookie from TCU. That's Jalen Reagor. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it.
Makes the score Panthers 17. Saints 9.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the Pro Bowler, was his intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And Now the third down throw incomplete as well. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know.
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
The Panthers take over first.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Prescott looks to throw on first. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 44-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The Saints on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Bootleg with Prescott. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 31.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC Playoff Race time. We give you a look at what's going on there.
And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. That's the important thing. They currently have the best record among the wild card contenders, but they want to make sure they finish this season strong.
And isn't that the case each and every year about one division that ends up being the top-loaded division? And unfortunately this year, it's theirs. But you could spin it and say, hey, they've been tested, and they've beaten a lot of good teams already. They will be prepared for the playoffs.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say, those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. Evans has it left side. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
From the gun, Herbert got a man. It's Mims. And he is going to have the Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. On 1st down, Gore. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And a catch right side by Evans.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
7 yards, the pickup there.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 30.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott, and it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards there and a first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
What was that, man?
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That catch good for only a couple. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute.
And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, they run. Again, it's Gore. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and choose some clock with Gore. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. And they take a knee. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Panthers, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Saints, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.